is recognized.
I yield 2 minutes to the gentleman from Florida, Mr. Curbelo.
Gentleman from Florida is recognized for 2 minutes.
I thank the chairman for yielding. Mr. Speaker, many of our colleagues have come to the floor today and stated that this is the most important vote or the most important series of votes that we will take in this Congress. And I agree with them, because these votes boil down to the fundamental question: what kind of a world do we want to live in? What kind of a world do we want for ourselves, for our children, for our grandchildren, for future generations? Do we want to live in a world where we legitimize the most radical, the most extremist, the most terrorist government in the world? A government that has a long and well-documented history of lying to the world, of holding Americans hostage, of hanging homosexuals from cranes, of executing juveniles? Do we want to empower that government with an investment of at least $56 billion, a portion of which will surely go to terrorist activities, not just in the Middle East, but all over the world? Do we want to guarantee that whether it's in 10 years or 13 years or 15 years or in 20 years, that same government will have the ability to build a nuclear arsenal? Do we want to afford that same government, the mullahs in Iran, the ability to have intercontinental ballistic missiles? Those aren't for Israel. Those aren't for the Middle East. Those are for us. And the only purpose of those missiles is to carry a nuclear warhead. What kind of a world do we want to live in? I believe, Mr. Speaker, that many years from now, my daughters, ages 5 and 3, will look up how their dad voted on this critical issue. And I think, and I'm very hopeful, and I'm confident that they will thank me, because this is a bad deal. This is a deal that not only endangers our allies in the Middle East, it endangers us. And this is a deal where we have to ask ourselves who we are, what we stand for, and what kind of a world we want to live in. For that reason, I'm opposing the Iran deal, and I urge my colleagues to do the same.